These people were so upset because they were like, okay, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to, feed my kids?
Workers lost tens of thousands of dollars of wages that they should have earned for care they provided.
DHS said it's Department of Labor problem. Department of Labor says, it's DHS's problem. Whose problem is it? It's the client that ultimately suffers when stuff like this happens.
Take your hand out of my pocket. I ain't got nothing belong to you.
Crystal Care was a large home care agency that employed or worked as the fiscal intermediary for hundreds of PCAs, home care workers who took care of clients, people with disabilities. And for a period of about 3 months, home care workers were not getting paid.
We got our paychecks, and the first set of paychecks bounced. 600, or actually 800 employees. And for a month after that, they kept saying they were going to pay us. We're having money troubles. The next paycheck came. I didn't cash it. I kept trying to deposit it because I'm in the same bank as them. No money in the account, no money in the account. So the third paycheck, they didn't even bother issuing checks. So for 45 days, we worked without pay. And about a week later, they filed for bankruptcy.
Crystal Care declared bankruptcy in order to avoid paying the workers their wages. There were workers that could not afford to stay in their apartments, workers who had to rely on public assistance, workers who absolutely couldn't make car payments, couldn't go to the doctor because they didn't get paid, and for hours that they worked. And unfortunately, in bankruptcy court, other creditors were considered more important and were paid first, and as a result, the workers did not receive their pay for that 3-month period.
By the time they paid the courts, the lawyers, the bank that they owed, there was nothing left for us.
Right now there are 504 estimated entities out there that do home care, and so any one of them could fold at any time. And they could actually fold today or tomorrow, and contact their workers and say, oh, by the way, the last month that you've been working, you're not getting any money.
It is not only in cases of bankruptcy that workers are getting screwed or having their wages stolen in home care. Agencies like Crystal Care will oftentimes tell workers that they're not due overtime that they should be receiving, or ask them to sign waivers, or ask them to sign timesheets that don't include all of the hours they worked. And that money is just going to the agency. And that is some agencies' business model, is to screw the workers.
There's a solution to make the companies, these entities, take out a bond to ensure that there is no wage theft and that these wages get paid. That wouldn't cost them that much to get out a $100,000 bond to insure that company.
We think that that is an appropriate way to ensure that workers do not lose their pay if they work. And I would say that it would be very difficult for a situation like Crystal Care to occur again for workers that are covered by the union, because we would know immediately if somebody didn't get paid, and we would be able to intervene and go to the state of Minnesota and ensure that the state was able to step in at an early moment. It is only because of the lack of organization and the lack of a union that this was able to take 3 months, 4 months for things to go along and to play out without any action being taken by the state of Minnesota, because the state also did not know what was happening at Crystal Care.
And I don't want that to happen to somebody else, and it has happened, in fact, more than once.